Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports NFL Week 8 picks and predictions. Let's get into the video. All right, we're going to go over the previous week results. We are currently 5-3. We have one game left outstanding. I am on the over in the Monday Night Football game between the Ravens and the Buccaneers. That over currently sitting at 49.5. I think I got it at 48.5. I'd have to check my bet slip, but I'm pretty sure I got it at 48.5. So we're either going 6-3 or 5-4. So overall, good week with NFL. We'll talk about how these games hit or lost, and then we'll get into the picks for Week 8. So we had Texans plus 2.5. The Texans lose the game outright, but they cover the 2.5. I think they lost by 2 or 1. They lost by 2 points to the Packers. So that one a winner. We had the Lions plus 2.5. They win the game outright by 2 points. Although they almost choked this away at the end, they made it very interesting. They won on a walk-off field goal. We had the over in 50 in the Lions and the Vikings. That was easy. They scored 60. With the Commanders minus a 7.5, which I thought was going to be a little bit dicey when Daniels went out of the game with the rib injury. But then Marcus Mariota came in and reminded us that that man is still the truth. I thoroughly believe he should be starting somewhere in the NFL. Probably, questionably, New Orleans. I would have taken Marcus Mariota over Gardner Minshew as my starting quarterback any day of the week. Oh no, sorry, Las Vegas, not New Orleans. That's Derek Carr. I'm an idiot. Definitely Las Vegas. Then finally, Chiefs plus 100 on the money line. Why were the Chiefs ever a dog in any football game? They're the best team in football. They have the best offense. They have one of the better defenses in the league. The 49ers are still fraudulent as hell. Brock Purdy, not a good quarterback. You saw it here today. 3 interceptions. He is ass. He's not good. All right, then we had losers, 3 of them. Patriots plus 5.5. I thought this was going to be a free win. This was the London game. They hopped out early to a 10-0 lead, and I think they lost this game by 20 points. Yeah, lost this game by 16 points because they lost the second quarter 22-3. I don't even know how you do that. We the Browns plus 5.5, which really should have hit. Even with Deshaun Watson tearing his ACL, then our backup coming in and getting injured, and then we had to play James Winston, who was injured, but then had to fill in as the emergency quarterback. They still only lost by 7, and they should have lost by 4, but our kicker missed a field goal and an extra point. I think Cleveland needs a new kicker because this dude is dog shit. Absolute dog shit. All right, and then finally we had the Jets minus 1.5. I have to stop betting on the Jets. They're just not good. Doesn't matter who their coach is. It doesn't matter with Devontae Adams, without Devontae Adams. They're just a bad team. Period, point blank, end of story. It is time to give up on the New York Jets. All right, that is the recap of the previous week. We are now going to get into this week's picks. First game, Thursday night game. It's the Vikings and the Rams. I'm taking 2 things in this one. Taking the Vikings minus 3 and the over of 46.5. Vikings coming off of their first loss of the season. Rams, they got lots of injuries at crucial spots in their lineup. Should be interesting to see how this game plays out. I thought this line would be closer to Vikings minus 7. Just give me a touchdown of the spread. But the fact that I'm getting it at minus 3, I will definitely take it. Both of these defenses not very good at stopping their opponents. That's why I'm going to rock the over in this one as a slight hedge. They are ranked 23rd and 26th in the NFL, giving up 367 and 378 yards a game. I'm going to give the edge to the Vikings here in a bounce back spot. They just lost a really close game at home to the Lions. They are 5-1 on the season. They've covered this number of minus 3 in 4 out of their 6 games. Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, I trust them a lot more. Well, and Aaron Jones. Then I don't know who the hell Matt Stafford even has to throw the ball to because Cooper Kupp is injured. So fuck the Rams. Give me the Vikings. I thought this would be closer to a touchdown. So definitely take them minus 3 and the over of 46.5. Next game we're looking at, it is the Eagles and the Bengals. I don't understand how the Eagles are dogs in this game at all. So I'm going to take the Eagles plus 2.5. Both of these teams coming off of wins against the opponents they 100% should have beaten. And their opponent should probably lose on purpose for the rest of the season if they want to have a good draft pick. Eagles, they're back to healthy, and the Bengals have won 2 in a row. So this should be a banger of a football game. I can't comprehend how the Eagles are dogs. The Bengals looked atrocious for the first few weeks of the season, and the only reason they've won is because they played the Browns and the Giants. They have not actually played good football, they've just played horrible football teams. The Eagles have the edge on offense and on defense. Their offense's averages at 385 yards a game compared to the Bengals, who only average 345 yards a game. Eagles defense also much better. They're ranked 10th in the NFL, only giving up 325 yards a game. Bengals are giving up 361 yards a game. So these teams have played the same opponents in the last 2 weeks. They've both played the Browns and the Giants. The Eagles were able to dominate the Giants and dominate the Browns. It was not close. The Bengals were not able to do nothing against either team. They won by 3 against the Giants, and they won by 7 against the Browns. Again, if you're only beating the Giants by 3 points, that's a problem. The Giants are not very good. And they beat the Browns, they were held to 21 points. Deshaun Watson tears his ACL. Dorian Thompson-Robinson comes in, injures his hand. They have to call in Jameis Winston, who was not even available for today's game, but he was made available as the emergency quarterback. I didn't even know you could do that. And then they only won the game by 7. So, huh? How are the Bengals favored? Their offense is not clicking. Joe Burrow, he ain't got it going on. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they ain't got it this year. Give me the Eagles plus 2.5. I have a lot more faith in Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon, and the Eagles defense than I do in anybody on this Bengals team. This Bengals team looking rough. Real rough. All right, next games. Next one we got, it is the Falcons and the Buccaneers. I'm taking the over of a 48.5. This game, pretty easy for me. Not really much to handicap. Both of these offenses, they're pretty good. Both of these defenses are pretty bad. That should mean a decent amount of points. Seems pretty easy to me. Falcons offense ranked 9th in the NFL, averaging 383 yards per game. Falcons defense is buns. They're allowing 20 plus points in 6 out of their 7 games this season, and multiple times they have been torched for 30 plus. Buccaneers offense ranked 7th, averaging 385 yards per game, and their defense is even worse than the Falcons, being ranked 28th in the NFL. That is near last, giving up 386 yards per game. This Buccaneers team does not win football games through their defense. They win football games because their offense goes out and scores 35 points a game. I don't see either of these high-power offenses being stopped by these low-power defenses. I did not think I would be betting an over of 48.5 in a matchup that consists of Kirk Cousins and Baker Mayfield, but hey-ho, here we are. Next game. This one don't make no sense. It's Colts plus 6.5 at the Texans. Now, like I said, in terms of stats, this game makes no sense. However, both teams have a lot of injuries, so I'm going to trust Richardson and maybe Joe Flacco if Richardson plays shitty enough. They put him in. Texans offense struggled in the previous game. CJ Stroud lost me my fantasy football matchup along with Tank Dell. So this is a rage bet purely in spite of CJ Stroud and Tank Dell. Colts have a worse defense and offense compared to the Texans. Texans are ranked 10th in offense and 3rd in defense. Colts are ranked 17th in offense and 31st in defense. Saying these numbers, I can't believe I'm taking the Colts plus 6.5, but I have to because CJ Stroud and Tank Dell lost me my fantasy football match in the previous week, which I'm pissed at. CJ Stroud got me 5.34 points as my quarterback. I lost the entire week by 2 points. 2 points I lost by. And CJ got me 5.34. How? Literally how? He went like 10 of 21 from the field. This isn't basketball. 10 of 21 through the air for 84 yards, 0 touchdowns. What are you doing? Brother, all you had to get was 10 points and I win this week. I'm now sitting at 3-4. And not only is this a buy-in league, but it's also a punishment league. So if you get last place, you are liable to do something really stupid. We have had nipple piercings, ass tats, run a marathon, you name it. It is up for game for last place punishment. So CJ Stroud, I got a serious bone to pick with you, brother. Give me the Colts plus 6.5. Don't bet this yourself. Just watch this game and know that somewhere in the world I am in severe amounts of pain no matter the result of this game. If the Colts cover the 6.5, great. But that probably means CJ Stroud got me another 10 points and I lost my fantasy football matchup. If CJ Stroud goes for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, cool. I won my fantasy game, but I lost the Colts plus 6.5. I can't win here. I can't win. So my thought is if I can't win, I might as well try to win a little bit of money. Give me the Colts 6.5. I don't like this at all. Next game, it is Bills at the Seahawks. I'm going to take the Seahawks plus 3. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a little bit, you watch these NFL videos since week 1, you would know I do not like Josh Allen. I do not think he is that guy. However, the Seahawks, they got one of the best offenses in the league. No chance do the Bills go into Seattle and walk out of here with a win. I think the wrong team is favored. If you would have set this line at the Seahawks minus 3, I probably would have taken it. Seahawks offense is ranked 5th, averaging 386 yards a game, compared to the Bills, who are ranked 20th, only averaging 329 yards a game. Josh Allen does not have the weapons on offense that he used to have. His wide receiver 1 is now Amari Cooper, who currently this year in the NFL has the most amount of drops out of all wide receivers. So if that's your wide receiver 1, good luck, buddy. That's not going to get it done. Now, the thing is, neither of these defenses are very good. So they're ranked 20th and 22nd in the league, giving up 360 and 364 yards per game. I'm going to give the Seahawks the edge here, given that they're at home. One thing to look out for in this game, DK Metcalf listed as questionable, went out in the previous game with an injury. Obviously, DK is a very important part of the offense, so I would keep an eye on that. Excuse me. Just be aware if he's playing or not before you bet this game. So I'm going to take Seahawks plus 3. Hopefully DK plays and the Bills lose by 25. Next game. This one really don't make no sense to me. Bears at the Commanders. I'm taking Washington at plus 100 on the money line. Jaden Daniels, obviously questionable in this game. He left the previous game with a rib injury. More than likely, he doesn't play. That's what this plus 100 money line is for the Commanders at home. Vegas is assuming he's not going to suit up. That being said, I don't really think it matters. If you watch the previous game, sure, it was against a shitty opponent for the Commanders, but Marcus Mariota came in and played great. He went 18 of 23 for 2 touchdowns. Ain't no way you're going to tell me the Bears, who have a rookie quarterback, are favored heading into Washington, a team that is 5-2, and sure, it's their backup quarterback going for them most likely, but Mariota is a veteran in this league. He'll be able to run this Commanders offense very well. There's been times this year where the Bears offense has looked inept at moving the football. I have much more faith in this Commanders offense led by a veteran quarterback than I do in a Bears team that has been known for years and years and years to be one of the worst offenses in the league. I don't care if you have a rookie Caleb Williams at quarterback who's supposed to be the truth and save your whole franchise. He's not going to. He's not that guy. The Bears' offense at times have looked horrible, so I'm going to truck the Commanders at home with the veteran quarterback. And there is still the chance that Daniels plays. Very unlikely, but he's not ruled out yet. So give me the Commanders plus 100 on the money line at home. I do not understand this line at all. Next game, talk about a horrible football game. Saints and the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers minus 7.5. The reason I'm taking this one, all the Saints injuries. The fact their starting quarterback is Spencer Rattler, that's almost enough to bet them or bet against them every single week. This might as well just must be a must bet. However, I don't like the fact that I'm laying at 7.5 points with a Chargers team that really doesn't score much in terms of offense. Hardball at coach, you're going to run the ball a lot, you're going to run the clock, you're going to have a solid defense, but you're not going to win many games by 25 points because that's just not the style of football he plays. Since starting the season 2-0, the Saints have now lost 5 games in a row. Seemingly every single important piece they had on offense is now injured in some capacity, whether it's Carr and you're not playing, or you're Alvin Kamara and you're just always injured. You could start the first quarter and then just be done for the rest of the game by halftime because you're injured again. You have Rice, who is out for the season. You just don't know what you got on this Saints offense. Meanwhile, the Chargers, coming off of a big win against the Broncos, their defense is one of the top in the league. They're ranked 5th, giving up just 306 yards a game, compared to the Saints, who statistically are the worst defense in the NFL, giving up 408 yards per game. So don't love this bet. taking 7.5 with the Chargers, but it's against the worst defense in the NFL, and your starting quarterback is Spencer Rattler for the Saints. Spencer Rattler should not be in the NFL. If you watched his college career, you know that he's horrible. He is buns. So give him the Chargers 7.5. Let's get it. Final bet: we are taking the Browns at home plus 9.5 against the Ravens. Again, y'all are probably going to say I'm on crack for this, and it might be accurate. But the Browns are my team. I'm going to back them every single week, unless it's just very, very unreasonable, which might be the spot here. But we'll find out. To be honest, the Browns might be better without Deshaun Watson at quarterback. It was obvious they sucked with him running the ship, so might as well switch it up and see what we got. It's obvious the year is over for Cleveland. We're 1-6. Our defense been playing decently recently, but offense is dog shit. So who really knows? I think, however, we can hold Baltimore to less than like 24 points. Our defense was able to hold Cincinnati to 21. So if we can do that, I think we can keep Baltimore kind of low. So I don't mind this 9.5. One thing that does concern me, surprisingly, is how horrible our kicker is. Previous 2 games, he has missed 3 field goals and 2 extra points. I'm not sure how this dude isn't sitting on the side of a road somewhere in Cleveland, Ohio, but ho hum, we ain't gonna talk about it. Stefanski should probably let him go, but who knows? Winston coming in as a veteran. He's had plenty of experience in the NFL, a decent amount of experience coming in the middle of a season for teams and playing pretty serviceably. Hopefully the campaign hopefully the game plan just gets simplified here a lot. We have Chubb back. Granted, we don't have Amari Cooper. We have Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku. Who else we're going to throw the ball to? I don't know. We've called up a bunch of guys from the practice squad. Maybe we just give them some opportunities to come in and play football, but just hand the ball to Chubb. Hopefully your offensive line is able to move some bodies on this Baltimore Ravens defense. I'm taking the 9.5. There's no really good reason why. Browns are my team. I just got to do it. All right, that is going to do it for me and this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. If you're looking for the next college football video, that'll be up tonight. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.